Welcome to the Diary of a Discarded Daughter podcast, formerly the Chronicles of the Christian Drama Queen. I'm your host and the founder of Christian Drama Queen Solutions, Lisa Schaefer, and I'm glad that you are here. I know what it's like to think like a lover of Jesus, but live like a hot mess every day. And if you can relate, you're in the right place. Whether it's overcoming wounds of abandonment and abuse, living with the shame of infertility, dealing with addiction, or desperately searching for purpose in a painful past, stay with me, sister. I have walked down all of those roads, and I've got decades of healing and hope that God's called me to share with you today. So here we go. All right, here we go again. Indeed. Welcome to the broadcast. I'm not hearing myself in my microphone. Something's going on. Let's try that. Oh, let's hear the music again, shall we? Then again, maybe not. I love these automated settings in StreamYard. I love StreamYard. I love using it. It's very user-friendly for me. A lot of point and click stuff. But there are some things that are automated settings that I just forget to go and fix. So. Oh, glad you could join me today, guys. Appreciate you, really do. Let's talk. Had to cough. Let's talk a little bit today about faith. I sent out an email to my email list. For those of you who don't subscribe to my emails, please go and do that. It's very simple. Go to freedom.christiandramaqueen.com. freedom.christiandramaqueen.com. There's some free resources that I send out regularly. In fact, right now, I think the free resource that's connected to that email is 10 biblical steps to forgiving the unforgivable. And that is a powerful message that needs to be told. So I encourage you to go to freedom.christiandramaqueen.com and get that free resource. It's like 10 or 15 pages. And it's all excerpts from the Bible study that I wrote on that subject, forgiving the unforgivable. So those books are available on Amazon. If you want to get books, if you want to get the Bible studies and actually have a workbook to go through, they're available. And also, if you want to just book a free time with me to pray about your situation and whether or not it is time for you to tackle that little demon of unforgiveness that's in your life, the bondage of bitterness that you might be living in, you can go to calendar.christiandramaqueen and sign up for a free 30-minute call. We'll just sit and pray together and talk about it and see if it's time for you to tackle some of the bondage that you've been trying to live with through the Bible studies that I've already written, and we'll just pray. Then, that's, to be quite honest with you, when you are struggling with bitterness and struggle, sometimes you just need somebody to pray with, to sit down with you and go through the process of prayer. So I encourage you to do that. Sorry about that. My live is very weird right now on my Facebook. Anyway, glad you're here. When I go live on YouTube or on Facebook, there's like no editing. So the only time you get an edited version is when I have posted the podcast on YouTube video, or I've posted the podcast in Buzzsprout, which also goes to iTunes and Spotify and iHeartRadio and Amazon Music and all of those places too. So you can find out, you can hear my podcast all the time. And listen, if you do listen to the podcast, I love, give me a rating, a review is what they call it, or forward it to somebody and let them know that, you think that it's something they might need to hear. The message of forgiving those who are or seem unforgivable, and the message of finding purpose for whatever pain or suffering you have gone through, that's a calling for me. And being able to talk about it with you guys is real important. So what we're going to talk about today is facts about our faith and trusting God's plans and then acting on them. So in an email that I sent to my email group today, which I don't send out very many emails, I'm really not very consistent with this. I'll just be honest with you. There are some fantastic entrepreneurs out there and people that are called to minister, and man, they are on it. Every Monday they send out an email, maybe again in the middle of the week. They do their podcast regularly. They make offers all the time. Maybe they're paying for advertising. I mean, they are hoofing it. and they're doing the work. I am not very consistent about that, and it shows. It shows in my business and other things. So I'm gonna text my kid right now and tell him I'm recording. I'm doing a live just so he knows um, that I will call him back. So there you go. So what I want to talk about today is acting on our faith. And somebody recently told me, was talking to me about the work that I'm doing with the Discarded Daughter Bible series, Bible study series. And the comment was made that we need to be really focusing on the sovereignty of God. And for those of you who don't understand that word sovereignty, that means he's the boss. He's the one who makes the decisions. He's the one who has the plan. He has a plan for your life. Plans to give you a hope in the future. Plans not to harm you. Plans to prosper. So those are some promises from him. And I gotta let you know that that's probably the thing that we deal with the most as we walk in our faith. One of the things we deal with the most is understanding that God is sovereign and that he has a plan, and whatever those plans are, do we really have a choice? I mean, think about that for a second. Do we really have a choice about what God's plans are for us? Because you can petition him in prayer, and listen, this is not a talk about whether or not prayer works. That's not what I'm talking to you about today. Okay? That's a whole different podcast. That's a whole different thing. And maybe we'll talk about that sometime. Excuse me. But what I want to talk to you about today is this idea of acting in faith when we're not really sure we have any. So recently, and I sent this out in my email today. Recently, I lost a pretty significant chunk of my income from my janitorial service. Now, I don't really talk about that. I mean, that's not really what I'm talking about. Excuse me. I'm not really talking about losing income and losing a client that we were kind of dependent upon financially. Not so much me, but my employees, because I scaled my business up and hired employees to work for me, and now I'm very concerned about what will happen to them. But that's not what this is about. I have to ask my question, well, now what? So the debate that's been going on in my head for the last 2 weeks since I knew this client was going to be changing changing vendors. The question has been, well, now what? It's a huge chunk of money. God always takes care of us financially, but it's oddly enough, I'm not really concerned about the financial part of this. I am concerned about my employees because, losing those, they were hired specifically to work for this client. So now I have to find other clients for them to work for, or they're going to be affected financially. And that bothers me because some of them are older, single, disabled. Some of them have little kids. They're trying to stay home with their kids as much as possible. Some of them have to, pay child support, and and they're good people. And the great thing about these people is they have all bought into the work that I'm doing with the Christian Drama Queen Solutions business, which is all of this discarded daughter stuff. And that's one of the reasons they work so hard for me, is so that I can have the freedom to not go and have to clean toilets every night. I can actually work on the projects that God's called me to, the writing and the counseling and the sharing and the speaking and all of that. So I am concerned about them. But here's the real I'm old enough, and I told you guys this in a live that I did last month. I'm not really worried about the money part. I mean, we'll be fine. We're always fine. I'm 60, almost 62 years old, and we are fine. We always, something always happens and works out. So I'm not very concerned about the financial part of all of this. Although I am really praying for my employees. The thing that's challenging my faith is the what next. Do I work real hard and head out to, door to door and try to pick up new accounts and new clients? Or after 34 years of cleaning toilets and taking care of commercial accounts, are we done? Is it time for us to be done? Or is it time for me to hand the reins over to somebody else? And if I do that, is God saying, okay, well, then now what I want you to do with your time is really work hard on the ministry work that you're doing? Or is there a way to combine the discarded daughter project or the discarded daughter calling? Is there a way to combine it with the commercial cleaning service? Now, you can laugh at me if you want to. You're like going, what? How do those combine? I'm not sure how those combine. And listen, I'll show you. I can tell you how those combine. I can tell you how those combine. Much of the time, as a discarded daughter, we are living in the destruction that's been left behind by our trauma. We are living in the debris of what's happened to us. We are either living in bitterness and trying to function without having the ability to forgive or not figuring out how to forgive, or maybe the unworthiness and the feeling of being unprotected and unloved and whatever it is that we're carrying around. That's the debris of trauma. And so my cleaning service tends to operate trying to impact people's workspaces and remove the debris of whatever's going on in their office or whatever's going on in their business. That's what my cleaning service focuses on. But my discarded daughter business, or what we call Christian Drama Queen Solutions, the Bible studies and the counseling and the sharing, that is all about actually working through getting rid of the debris that has been left by trauma. It's about the bitterness and the pain and the lack of self-worth. It's the doubt that we have in a Savior that really loves us. It's our untrust of a Heavenly Father. And the facts about faith for me right now are, what do I do with these two things? What do I do with this cleaning business thing that's been supporting us off and on for 34 years? This business, if you guys have not gone to my podcast where I talk about my faith resulting in an extra $2, you need to go look that up on Buzzsprout, and I will post the link in the comments. But we've been using this business to make ends meet and allowing me to stay home and take care of my kids and now my granddaughter for 34 years. And so it's very difficult to think of us not doing that. And it's really difficult to think that God doesn't want to keep us doing that. What doesn't want to keep using that cleaning business to get us to the next thing. I don't know that that's the case, that that's what he wants to do. So the other thing is, okay, if we whether we do or we do not keep doing the janitorial work, and the plan is to keep going. I mean, right now, in my heart of hearts, I want to keep going because I want to employ my people. I want them to have income from that. So if you are watching me and you own a business locally, I'm probably gonna hit you up. Don't be surprised when I make a phone call. But the discarded daughter stuff is about time and energy away from home to an extent. It's about time and effort to create speaking engagements, events for women who need to battle back from the bitterness of a painful past. It's about them finding purpose for their suffering. So there's time that has to be invested in that. And so when I say to you, here are the facts. Number one, you're going to have times in life where you have to have faith. Situations are coming that are going to force you to say, yes, I trust him. Okay. But the other fact about faith is you got to act on that. So you have to actually step out in faith and do something. And so, like I said in my email earlier today, if you're on my email list, you already got it. I'm struggling with that part. I'm not struggling with the trusting him because I know he'll make do. He'll work something out one way or the other. But I am curious about the steps he's wanting me to take as someone who acts in faith. That I am not too sure about. And so now I can kind of ask you guys to pray along with me about that. What is it that these steps of faith for the ministry and for the cleaning business, what do those steps of faith look like? What does that action look like? Can you help me with that? And that's going to do it today for the Diary of a Discarded Daughter. Thanks for being here today, guys. Don't forget there are lots of ways to get a hold of me. You can certainly go to freedom.christiandramaqueen.com. You'll have access to some freebies from me. It's a great way to communicate things that are happening with the ministry. Also, don't forget that if you just want to book 30 minutes with me where we can talk and pray together, find out if you're ready to start walking down this path toward freedom, you just got to sign up. Calendar.christiandramaqueen.com. Pick a date and time. Calendar.christiandramaqueen.com. Of course, my Bible studies are available on Amazon, and if you email me that you'd like to have a copy of those, I can spiral bind them for you and send them right out of my office. Thanks again for sharing me with your friends and sending folks my way, and I love you.